Hi everyone, Justin here. This is the third and final installment on my flow template videos. And this is basically going to cover the last step, right? The citizen developer or someone coming into App Engine Studio and using the flow template that you created in Flow Designer as part of their application. It's going to be an automation that they create there. Now, if you haven't seen the first and second videos, the first video covers creating a template. Second video covers the actual configuration of the template so you can set up the opportunity for your citizen developers, your people using that flow template to alter the flow itself without having to come in and actually use Flow Designer to change it. Now, I'll put links to those so you can get to those videos if you want. If you did watch that second video, I missed a very important and final step. I'll call your attention up here at the top. So we talked through configuring the flow, going into the template setup, and what I didn't do, and it caught me when I tried to finish the rest of this video, is I didn't activate it. So once you've configured it and done what you need to do, you need to activate the flow, otherwise it's not going to show up in this next area I'm going to show you. So let's hop on over there. App Engine Studio. This is the home for creating applications. And when we're talking about applications on the Now platform, it's basically a way to have tables and structure around things. I've got in here access to application templates. We'll cover that in a whole nother video. I've got my recent applications, and in the use case that I want to demonstrate to you today, and I'm going to create an app just to follow through on the story here. So the story is, I've got an innovation team. The innovation team is part of the organization, but they're not really someone who does incidents or catalog tasks coming from a catalog, but they have work that they need to track, and they've chosen ServiceNow as their place to track that work. It's a very common use case that we see all the time. So if we wanted to say, hey, here, have access to App Engine Studio, we've got some, automation in there to make sure you don't break anything. But go ahead and create the things that you need. So I'm going to create a table. We're going to use the task table to actually set them up. We don't really need to use the incident table or the catalog task table. We can just go with straight up task. That's going to give them assignment group and priority and stuff like that. So let's go ahead, hit the drop down here, and we're going to search for task. And we'll scroll to the bottom. Oop, I picked the wrong one. That always happens in a demo. Let's try that again. Go down here to task. And there we go, click continue. Now I'm going to go ahead and give it a name, and we'll call this innovation tickets, right? That's how they want to refer to themselves. We'll go ahead and set an auto number on it, and it doesn't need to be extensible because no one's really going to copy a custom app, or it may not copy a custom app. But we're done there. So we've got our own table, and now the innovation team has seen that the help desk team has this flow that escalates to Microsoft Teams that we covered in the second video, and they want to take advantage of it too. So now they can be redirected to say, come over to your logic and automation, and the ServiceNow admins have made it super easy for you to take that flow and adopt it to your team. So here I've got the option to use a flow, and I don't see the template that I created. Let's hit refresh. See if we get a better experience if I hit refresh. Because I know I activated that because I just showed you on the previous tab that it was activated. So let's try that again. We'll add the logic and automation, the flow. There we go. There's my flow template demo. I'll go ahead and open that up. We'll get started. Now this is the key thing here. So it's going to let them change, if you watch the second video, the table that they're coming from. So the flow by default used the incident table. And maybe for their team, they're not going to use incidents, right? So we just created a table for the innovation team. So let's search for innovation. And we see their innovation tickets. So now this flow is going to use innovation tickets as the table that's going to trigger that workflow. We'll go ahead and change the condition that we set up in the second video to be innovation team instead of help desk. And remember, we put a little help text there, so enter a different team name if needed, and we gave them some helpful information about the formatting of that. And then if they want to change the priority, maybe innovation team is serious about their tickets and they want to have a Teams channel for anything that's priority 2 and above. And so we'll click done there. We'll give it a name, innovation team, escalate to Teams. So we can go ahead and put in innovation team escalate to Teams. Got that done there. We'll click continue. This is going to go ahead and create the flow. So everything is going to be set up for them. All that logic we saw, talking to teams, doing the if-then, else logic that was in the flow, it's going to take care of all that for them, and they're going to have access to that particular functionality that was saved as a template. Now, if you're an admin, you can still come in and see that flow, right? So that flow is going to be now a flow and not a template, and we can see that it created it right there at the top, innovation team, escalate to teams. And if I open that up, it's still in draft mode because I haven't actually published it over in App Engine Studio, but not important. What I wanted to show you is, look at this. The table has changed on the trigger. It's now innovation tickets, and it's already going to have that table selected. They didn't have to come in and do that. They didn't have to select that table. And the lookup group record changed, right? So, oh, I hit a key there. We don't want to change that. So let's just escape out of there and open that back up. Okay, there's my innovation tickets, cancel out of there. And then my lookup group record changed. So there's where they were able to come in and say, look up where the group name or name is equal to innovation team instead of help desk team. So that automatically came through from one of those input variables and assigned to this. Last thing to show you, just to follow this all the way through, in my if statement, remember if it was priority is critical, which was 1, now since they overrode that, it is now 2 or high for this escalation to happen to create a channel in Teams, post a message, and send an SMS to the manager of that group. So that is the third and final video in how to use flow templates in ServiceNow. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, or share it with somebody who you think might be interested. And that's all for now. We'll see you on the next video.